I did all those tests in that like concentrated time period, and then like the extended essay and all of the like IAs I had to write, because like, well, I'm in a lot of humanities classes, so I'm always writing a ton of essays, and like now it's just like nothing. Like I had 3 like essays instead of finals, and one of them was 8 pages, and it was like nothing. It was so easy, and all that writing I had to do just really like, it really helped a lot.
At the time you dreaded it, but now you're like,
yeah, and like I don't have to, there's a lot of resources at my school, like you go in and you can get it like checked and stuff, and like I've done that a couple times, but it's like not, like they're mostly like fine, like I don't have to.
You don't feel like you have to have major support, that you were well prepared for the writing.
Yeah, like if I had to do it like all on my own, I could, and it would be fine, and I'd be like confident in the grade I was going to.
And there's plenty of college kids that do struggle with all the writing. And the compositions, and the, yeah, definitely. Anyone else as far as, Michaela?
Okay, so what really prepared me was a lot of the writing. Like I know that's like really stressed that. But when I went to my writing class, I was the only like student that knew how to write a research paper, like how to find the research, like on like the databases, and how to actually put it together to write the paper. So because of that, I was ahead. So I really stress like do the IB and actually do the work, because if you don't, then you're kind of missing out on an opportunity to like better yourself, because now college is a lot easier because there was a lot of stress with the IB, and like turning around and like going to college is a lot easier because now I know how to manage my time, I know how to write the papers, and it's just
I would say the CAS experiences were really helpful for going into college. So how many of you guys are juniors and seniors who actually do those CAS experiences? So from what I remember, the CAS experiences were due every week. And for a CAS experience, you would have to do something that was out of your comfort zone, or you were just doing something as simple as like baking, like trying something new. And I think having those experiences were really helpful, because when you're in college, it's very scary to step out of your comfort zone. But I feel like you need to do it, because there's a lot of things that you're gonna be experiencing in college. It's gonna seem scary, but I promise you, it's not gonna be like that at all, because the CATS experiences are supposed to push you out of your comfort zone. So, yeah.
My school accepts my IB test scores and I have my IB diploma, but my school accepts IB test scores as class credit. So I got out of like a ton of classes. So that's one thing.
Really?
Like, yeah, I got out of no science, no English, no foreign language, and I took math at JCC because I give her a math score. But if I had gotten a good score in math, I would have gotten out of math too. But I'm taking foreign language like as a choice. I'm taking an English course like as a choice. I can pick whatever type that I want. I don't have to like take like Comp 1 or like elementary Spanish. Like I don't have to do that. I can take whatever I want, which is super cool and fun. But also the writing. Like honestly, they summed it up perfectly, but like being prepared to just sit down and write a huge paper, do a huge chunk of time is like so important, no matter what your major is. So like really committing yourself to your writing assignments and just like using that as an opportunity to like learn how to do this is so cool and so important. Also learning how to like approach material that's like really, really challenging and like be okay. Like not that this is too hard, I can't do it. Be like, you know, it's hard, but I did this thing in high school when I was 17 and way more confused about my life, and I got it together at that point, so it's not as scary now, you know.
Anyone else as far as IB?
I think like aside from academics, it just kind of like what you said, it gives you like a confidence boost. Like when you push yourself and it's kind of like a trial period, like trying to figure out things like that, you go in and you know how to approach things better. And it's like you said, like I was like, I did this once, like, and it was way harder at that time, like I can do it now.
Yeah. So, also, like, bragging rights are so much fun. People are like, oh my god, you have IB diploma, and you're like, well, yeah, you know, it's whatever, and they're like, that's so cool, and I'm like, yeah, it's really fun. Like,
I
it's
like
great.
that. Hello, Selena. How are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, Selena Clements.
Well, Selena, if you can tell our high school kids when you graduated from Walsh, where you went to school, after Walsh and what you majored in and what you're doing now.
Okay. I'm Selena. I graduated in 2015.
I know everybody's got it
I think
wrong.
so. Yeah, I graduated in 2015. I went to St. Bonaventure. I majored in marketing with minors in international business and psychology. Right now, I just finished my first semester at LIM College. Sorry. I ran down the hallway to try and make it. I just finished my first semester of grad school where I'm getting a master's in fashion marketing, and I live in New York City.
Cool. Okay. We were just actually talking about IB and how it prepared the students in some aspect of college and what, if they could look back and think of what were those core things that they've been able to carry into college to help them? What were some of those things that you remember that you think, I'm really glad I had that because now it's actually coming a little easier to me here, or it's really been a good foundation? If you want to.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely say obviously the course load is large and heavy and annoying at the time, but it's super, I mean, I don't think if I would have gone through the program that I would have, one, been as prepared for my super vital classes that I took at Bona's, and then also the ability to kind of be able to plan things out. Time management's a huge thing, even though you don't believe me because I was late, but whatever. So time management was huge. Kind of, I mean, like obviously the course load, but the other things that I learned from it, just to kind of about myself and about developing relationships with your teachers and asking for help, because everybody's willing to help you if you just ask.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Take a breather.
I think to add to that is the learning about yourself, is figuring out where you know you're gonna fail. Like going into it knowing what to fail. Like I know that I can't manage time to save my life. Like I know that. So I can go into my classes and say, how can I plan better so this will not be a problem for me? I have an agenda, I have 2 notebooks, I have calendar on my wall, in my office calendar in my car. I have calendars everywhere. I do not, my phone has a calendar on it, I keep track of everything, but I know, I know that if I don't, I'm gonna fall apart. So knowing that before you start is so cool. So you don't have to, yeah, you aren't like in school and you're like, why is this so hard for me? Like you're going in like, oh, I know that like I can't study, so I'll just go plan for it, you know?
How about, you're coming from a small school to these universities that obviously are bigger than your school and your community. Most of them are in cities or towns that are bigger than Olean. So what could you say that was good from being in a small school experience, a private school environment, and then going into a larger school? I've heard some criticism from people like, oh, how could you possibly go from a small school and then you go to this big university and you're going to be lost? I mean, you all don't seem lost to me.
My school has 35,000 kids in it, not including the graduate students. That's just undergrad students. It is massive, it can feel overwhelming, but the thing about coming from Walsh to there is that I'm not scared of grown-ups. And everybody else is. Everybody else, they can't have professors, they can't have anybody else who's in charge. They're scared of their advisors, they don't know how to talk to anybody. And I come in and I'm like, I want to do this and this and this, and this is how I'm going to do it. And they're like, whoa. They're like, who do you think you are? Because that's how I was at Walsh. Because I talked to the adults like they were on my level. I respect them, but also like I didn't feel like I had to be scared of them. I didn't feel like I had to like, they were some big monster in the sky. Like you can talk to adults, and that's a really cool thing in a place where I see my advisor twice a semester. He has 10,000 kids he has to care about. I am minimal to him. So I have to like go in there and know what I want to talk about. I can't go in there and be like, well, I think I wanna, well, I didn't really plan for this. Like I go in and I'm ready. And I think that's a really cool thing you can practice here, because I know all the teachers here love it. They love it when you come in and you want to talk and you want to learn and you want to engage. So that chance to like learn that skill is so cool and so important.
Oh, I actually have to agree with Tyler with this one. Like when I got to college, like if I felt like struggling in class, I had questions as I told my professor. A lot of other people would be like, "Why are you going to your professor to talk about this?" And I'm like,
because I need help. And the professor like took the time to help me. And like a lot of times here, like you go to a teacher at Walsh, like they'll come and help you. Just like a lot of other people like are like, why would I do that? Like, why would I even want to? Or like, what's the point? But like being here, like you got to know your teachers. Like you get not like personal details, but you get to know them and like get how they teach. And like at Bonaventure, I've learned to like how to get to know my professors and like it makes. Once you get to know your professors, it also makes them a lot more willing to like help you out. Like I go to a smaller school than Tioga, so it's like a different experience. But like in my school, like a lot of the professors are willing to help you out if like you put in the work. So.
And like it feels weird to not know your professors. Like after coming from here, it feels weird to not stop in and be like, "Hey Bill, how's it going?" Like it feels strange to not know them and be their friend and know about their research and what they're doing. Like I think that's really cool to be able to go in and be like, I want to know you. And they usually love it. They're like, oh my God, you like my class? That's so cool. You should definitely engage. Because it's what you do while you're here anyway, so.
I was gonna say, because I don't go to a big school, so my graduating class, or no, the whole campus is like 2,000 students, and my graduating class is 500 students. So we have a totally different experience from students who go to school at big universities in the city. So I would say that coming from Walsh to another small school was kind of like the same thing, but it also, like the transition wasn't hard because talking to the professors was really easy because I could do it here with these guys because I got to know them very well. And so when I went to college, the typical class size is like 17 students. So the professor gets to know you and your fellow classmates really well. So I would say that I really enjoy being at a small school. And it's just like, the thing is too, is like, you really got to know yourself as a person. I mean, you don't have to know right away, but like, for me, I already knew that when I go to college, I kind of don't want to go to a big school. It just seems too intimidating. So I'm glad that I chose Allegheny because the small class environment and the small environment in general is like what I feel comfortable with.
So it's kind of like a transition into your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And this was a good practice grounds.
Yeah.
For talking to adults is what I'm getting to from it.
To like stress that a little bit more, like I completely agree, talk to your professors. When we had a writing paper due for one of my classes, I went and asked my professor to read my draft, and because I was the only student that like stopped and actually talked to him and asked for like input, he raised my grade. Because I was the only student that went in and was like, can you help me? Like, I know that I don't really know what I'm talking about with this like matter. Can you just proofread it and like give me feedback on what I could write more or what I could do better? And because of that, like he was so impressed that I went in and talked to him and he just raised my grade. So really like get to know your professors and like don't be afraid to talk to them because they are just people too. They want to see you good.
Sounds like kind of like a pleasant surprise. Like you didn't realize that you were growing and learning and doing that here, but once you went to a university, then you were like kind of validated, like and rewarded in some way. That's good.
It's like I want everybody to kind of have the same great experience that I had. It wasn't a perfect road. I mean, I was a transfer student. I came from public school my sophomore year, and I had to learn basically completely new ropes. I never was in private school. I'm not I don't come from a religious family, so coming into a Catholic environment, that was something that was new to me as well. So basically the lessons that I learned here went beyond the classroom. Just teaching me, just the teachers taught me things about myself. My friends taught me things about myself. And I know that you guys are probably you guys are probably just having the time of your life.
They look it, don't
I
they?
know, it's just so much fun. But seriously, when you do get out of here and you look back, you'll think about that it really was a good time. And you'll also know that you didn't have some good times, but you'll have respect for that. So kind of just, it puts things in perspective for me because I love coming back here and seeing, like remembering what I was doing here and then being like, oh my God, I live in New York now and I go to school and I have a job. And
So only being here 2 years at Walsh and you felt that connection.
I was sophomore, junior,
Three.
senior year.
You
Yeah, but still, like
sophomore.
I didn't do like middle school or anything or freshman year. So
How about the others? I mean, you're back. We didn't force you, did we?
I thought it'd be fun. I just wanted
That would be fun, okay.
I thought it'd be fun.
Yeah.
I also came here when I was a sophomore. I was here for 3 years. I love my friends from my class. I love my class. I think they are the best people, and I love any chance I get to see them. And it's fun to come hang out here. Like when I was here, my mom worked here, and like me and my mom were friends. Like people that I know around here.
Small
I'm like,
school, you
yeah,
can
it's like seeing extended family. It's fun. I like it. Yeah.
It's like extended.
Yeah, it's like hanging out with your cousins. It's great.
We'll just go down the line. You can say a little bit of something about why you like coming back or what it is.
I like seeing my class too and all the familiar faces and just remembering when I was in your shoes, and I don't know. It's interesting to hear different people's perspectives, so I want to come back and share mine too. And to get to see everyone.
Yeah, I think because like we're all so close and it's so small that it's important to come back and like keep ties like that so we can all benefit and we can all move forward and be successful in whatever way we choose to be.
I just like seeing everybody.
Yeah, I like coming back too, just to see all the familiar faces. Also because I have siblings here who, it's good to see them at school, see how they're doing. Always check up on them.
The thing that I realized was like coming in today was how much I've changed since I've been in high school. Like I think I've changed more in high school in like 1 year than I had all 4 years of high school. Like just college will change you a lot, and it was really cool just to come in and be like, wow, I've changed a lot since I've been here.
Probably what brings me back is that a lot of the best parts of my life and like the best memories I have are like because of a lot of the students, because of a lot of the teachers. Like my best memories are here, so why wouldn't I want to do that?
To see all my friends, hi guys, and try and keep up the conversation with Mr. Phillips.
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say, I hope all of you know how incredibly proud we are of you, that you've taken what we offer here and gone on to great things. And so know that we're incredibly proud of you, and you are fantastic ambassadors for us.